Hey everyone! Today we're exploring another chilling and disturbing case. If you'd like to support the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay engaged. It really means a lot. I truly appreciate it. Now, take a deep breath and let's dive in. She thought she had married into a dream. He thought he had secured the perfect bride. But within hours, their marriage would end, not with vows of forever, but with a brutal crime that shocked the world. The bride was young, beautiful, and ambitious. Coming from a modest family, her marriage to one of Saudi Arabia's wealthiest men was seen as a miracle, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to rewrite her destiny. The groom, a billionaire in his late 30s, was powerful, respected, and feared. His empire stretched across oil, construction, and politics. To everyone watching, the wedding was a spectacle of wealth and status. Gold, diamonds, and royal guests. It was a union meant to impress the world. But beneath the layers of silk and luxury lay a secret. Whispers surrounded the bride long before the marriage. A past relationship. A lover who refused to let go. Or maybe a scandal too shameful for a man of the groom standing to ignore. To him, reputation was everything. In his world, honor outweighed love. And when rumors of betrayal reached his ears on his own wedding night, it was as though the perfect illusion shattered. Inside the couple's honeymoon suite, the fairy tale dissolved. Servants later reported hearing shouts, crashing furniture, and desperate pleas for forgiveness. Hours later, silence. When the door was finally opened, the bride lay lifeless, her body bruised, her gown stained with blood. The groom sat calmly in the corner, cold, detached, as if nothing had happened. The police were called, but here's where the story twists. Witnesses claimed that instead of being arrested immediately, the billionaire was escorted away quietly. No handcuffs, no urgency. And by morning, the story in local papers had already changed. Was this a crime of passion, or the beginning of a cover-up at the highest levels of power? She was dead. He was alive. And yet, instead of justice, power and money began to shift the story. What should have been a crime scene became a negotiation. And what should have been the truth became a lie. Normally, a violent murder triggers a lockdown, forensics, photographs, evidence bagged and tagged. But in this case, the bride's body was quietly removed. Her family wasn't even notified until hours later. And when they arrived, the scene had already been scrubbed clean. Witnesses who had heard screams were suddenly silent. Some were dismissed from the palace staff overnight. Others later admitted they were paid to disappear. Official reports painted a very different picture. Instead of murder, whispers spread of a tragic accident. Some claimed she fell, others that she had a sudden health crisis. The groom's connections ran deep. Police chiefs, politicians, even religious leaders owed him favors. With a few phone calls, the narrative shifted. What could have been the trial of the century was on its way to being erased completely. The bride's relatives were outraged, demanding answers. But even among them, betrayal lurked. A cousin who had pushed for the marriage suddenly sided with the billionaire, claiming the bride had brought shame upon herself. Her parents begged for justice, but doors slammed shut in their faces. The more they pushed, the more threats they received. Stay silent or lose everything. As the scandal grew, more secrets began to leak. Not about the bride, but about the groom. Allegations of mistresses, private clubs, even rumors of violent behavior toward women that had been buried before. For the first time, cracks appeared in his untouchable image. But he wasn't worried. He believed his wealth could buy silence forever. But what he didn't know was that one witness had escaped. Someone who saw everything that night. Someone who wasn't supposed to survive long enough to talk. And as that witness prepared to come forward, the story took a deadly new turn. The witness was not a stranger. Reports suggest it was a palace staff member, someone trusted to serve close to the couple on their wedding night. They saw what happened behind the closed doors of the honeymoon suite. Frightened but determined, this witness reached out to the bride's grieving family, promising to tell them everything. They even hinted at having proof, something that could not be denied, even by the most powerful man in the country. Days after the murder, the witness attempted to leave the city. They booked a bus ticket under a false name, planning to flee across the border before speaking to international journalists. But they never arrived. Their seat on the bus was empty. Their luggage was later found abandoned in a roadside ditch. Within a week, the witnesses' family stopped answering calls. Neighbors reported strange men parked in black SUVs outside their home. And then, nothing. The witness simply vanished, as if they had never existed. No police report, no missing persons case, only silence. Whispers grew louder. Some said the billionaire had them eliminated. Others claimed they were bought off with enough money to disappear willingly. And a chilling theory emerged that the witness was buried in the desert, their body never meant to be found. But then, months later, a shocking twist. An anonymous email was sent to an international journalist with the subject line, "I know what happened that night." Attached was a single blurred photograph of the bride's lifeless body. Was the witness still alive, hiding in the shadows? Or had someone else taken up the fight for justice? The photograph of the bride's body shocked the world. It was raw, disturbing, and undeniable proof that her death had not been the accident officials claimed. International journalists latched onto the story, demanding answers. Human rights groups called for investigations. Social media exploded with outrage, turning the bride into a symbol of silenced women everywhere. For the first time, the billionaire's power seemed to weaken. His business deals came under scrutiny. Foreign partners began to back away. His carefully polished image, philanthropist, businessman, family man, was unraveling. But behind the scenes, he was furious. He hired private investigators, cyber experts, and even government insiders to hunt down the person responsible for the leak. Whoever had sent that email was now his most dangerous enemy. The bride's family, once silenced by threats, now found their voice. With international eyes watching, they gave interviews, detailing their suspicions and the intimidation they had faced. They revealed chilling details. How palace guards blocked them from seeing their daughter's body. How officials pressured them to sign papers claiming she died of natural causes. And how one relative vanished after vowing to speak out. Their bravery turned the case into something larger than a single crime. It became a fight against corruption, secrecy, and unchecked power. But one question burned hotter than all others. Who sent the email? Some believed it was the missing witness. Others suspected it came from inside the billionaire's own circle, a jealous business rival, a betrayed mistress, or even a family member tired of his reign of control. Then, another shock. A second leak appeared. This time, it wasn't a photograph. It was an audio recording. In it, a man's voice, calm, commanding, and chilling, could be heard saying, "Clean this up. No one can ever know what happened that night." Was this the voice of the billionaire himself, or someone else protecting him? The photograph shocked the world, but the recording, it terrified it, because the voice on the tape wasn't just a killer's command. It was a window into a conspiracy much larger and far more dangerous than anyone had imagined. Forensic analysts were called in to authenticate the tape. At first, suspicion fell on the billionaire himself. The cadence, the accent, the tone, everything seemed to match. But the deeper experts dug, the stranger became. The voice wasn't alone. In the background, muffled, another figure could be heard. Someone pleading, someone crying, and then a second, quieter voice giving an order of their own. Whispers began that the billionaire wasn't acting alone, that perhaps he wasn't even the one in control. Some investigators pointed to his older brother, a shadowy figure who never appeared in public, but was rumored to run the family empire from behind closed doors. Others claimed the recording hinted at involvement from officials, police, judges, even religious authorities, protecting the billionaire's reputation in exchange for wealth and influence. This wasn't just one man covering up a murder. It was a system protecting itself. As the world obsessed over the tape, another revelation exploded. Reports surfaced that the bride had taken out a life insurance policy just months before her wedding, worth millions, and naming her husband as the sole beneficiary. Had he discovered this on their wedding night? Was the murder about betrayal or cold-blooded greed? The bride's family, now openly demanding justice, began receiving chilling warnings, anonymous messages, strange cars parked outside their home, A cousin's business suddenly raided. They realized this wasn't just about their daughter anymore. It was about survival. And then the unthinkable happened. The journalist who first received the leaked photograph vanished. Their apartment was found ransacked, laptop missing, phone destroyed. But just before disappearing, they had sent one final message to a colleague. "I found something worse than murder." What could be more disturbing than the brutal killing of a bride on her wedding night? For months, the world demanded answers. Who killed the bride? Who silenced the witness? And what secret was worth more than her life? The truth would be darker than anyone expected. When the journalist vanished, investigators uncovered fragments of the files they had been working on. Buried in encrypted emails was something explosive. Documents linking the billionaire to an underground network of corruption. It wasn't just about a bride's murder. It was about money laundering, secret affairs with powerful figures, and a chain of deaths all swept under the rug. The journalist had uncovered proof that the bride's death was not an isolated crime, but part of a pattern. And then came the most devastating discovery of all. The bride had not been hiding a lover. She had been hiding evidence. Before her wedding, she stumbled upon financial records tying her future husband to offshore accounts, bribes, and illegal arms deals. Friends later revealed she confided in them. "If I marry him, I'll be safe. If I don't, I'll be destroyed." Her marriage was not about love. It was about survival. But on their wedding night, something went wrong. Perhaps she confronted him. Perhaps he found out she knew. Either way, his rage wasn't just about honor. It was about fear. Fear that she could expose him. And so, in the most twisted irony, the woman he married to secure his empire became the greatest threat to it. International pressure mounted. But within his country, the billionaire remained untouchable. The leaked photo, the recording, the missing witness, none of it led to an arrest. Evidence vanished. Files were sealed. Some say the billionaire fled to a private estate abroad. Others claim he still walks free, protected by the very system built on his fortune. The bride's family never got justice. Her story became a warning whispered among women in her community. Be careful who you marry. The palace can be a prison. Years later, a chilling rumor surfaced. A child, born shortly before the wedding, was quietly being raised under a different name, in another country. Some believe it was a bride's and that the child may one day grow up to inherit not just her beauty, but the truth she died for. In the end, the bride's death was not just a tragedy. It was a mirror reflecting greed, betrayal, power, and the darkness men will hide to protect their empires. Her wedding night was supposed to be the start of forever. Instead, it became the night her secret and her life was erased. What are your thoughts on this case? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated with more stories, where each case isn't just about crime, but also offers a lesson for life.